Good morning. I saw a post in the group and I wanted to respond with video because I have too much to say and I can't type, and talk to text is not kind to me. So I want to talk about this question, which essentially is, I want to offer accessibility in some way, sliding scale, reduced fee, insurance, but my practice is not yet sustainable. My finances aren't there yet. Do I offer it for current clients, for existing clients? They're experiencing hardship. Like, how do I do this thing that I really want to do? So a couple things I want to address. The first one is this idea of sliding scale and the language around it. I think a lot of clinicians refer to sliding scale when they really mean reduced fees, and I've come to sort of understand the difference between them, and it may actually be a very important difference depending on your ethical guidelines and the codes of your license in particular. Generally speaking, what I have seen sliding scale defined as is a scale of fees that is based on a potential client's income bracket, and it is available to all clients. That if you have a true sliding scale, it means that every client that comes to you would be able to access that slide based on their income. Now, that unfortunately doesn't take into account the cost of living, things like that. Most sliding scales do have sort of like a family size aspect to them, but the whole idea here is that your scale of fees slides based on client demographic and like income demographic. Reduced fee suggests that it is something different, that you can offer a handful of reduced fee spots at specific numbers. You can negotiate specific reduced fees for certain circumstances. I've said this before, I'll say it again, whatever your policy, it needs to be fair and equitable. However you define fair and equitable, it needs to demonstrate that it's non-discriminatory. So that's what I'll say about that piece. So I'm encouraging more people to adopt the reduced fee language if they are limiting the number of spots that they're offering, or they are, specifying some of the terms in a way that's different from what we typically think of as a sliding scale. So that's one thing. But then the next question is like, okay, then, but if I want to offer this, what do I do? My practice is not quite financially viable yet. And you guys have heard me say this before. It's that in order to offer reduced fees or sliding scales or anything like that, I want you to be financially viable first. Like, you need to be well first financially before you can be providing something for another first. It's that whole put your mask on first, right? And so here is another example of how when we're in the early stages of building our practice and we're filling our caseload, that may not be the time to be offering reduced fees or sliding scales or anything like that. This person is also providing through ALMA, and typically providing insurance services is going to be at a lower rate than your private pay. And so I consider that a reduced fee as well, because you're getting less than what you would normally get with a private pay client. So that is another way that creates accessibility. And I think, so first at a foundation, you need to be financially viable, and not just like, I can pay my bills, I'm sort of okay, but like, I'm doing well, I can put money in savings, I am investing in my retirement, I'm well financially. And you have to define what those numbers are so that you know at what point you've reached sustainability, that you can then start to offer some other fee arrangements that are still within your financial plan. And then I also want to encourage everyone to expand their idea of what it means to be accessible. Like, examine what it is that's pushing you to create accessibility in your practice, and in what ways are you looking to create that? And is it just through money? Are there other ways that you can be accessible? Are there other ways that you are already even providing value outside of reducing your financial well-being or reducing your income? I currently do not offer reduced fees to new clients. I have some clients that are holdovers from before, and they have stayed at their lower fees, and they're slowly going up. But I don't, as practice, bring new clients in at reduced fees. I don't have the bandwidth in my practice for that right now. And I also do my give back in different ways, and this is one of them. And so looking at one of the different ways that you are providing value and providing service, if that's important to you. And also, I just want to let you know, like, it's not a mandate. It's not required. And so really think about, like, what is it that I want to be offering? What is it that I want to be giving? Why do I want to be doing it? Do I need to do it in all these different ways? Or can I pick one way and stick with that? If providing insurance, therapy to insurance-based clients is the way you do it, then maybe that's enough. Maybe you don't need to reduce your fees for other clients. If you want to make sure you have bandwidth for existing clients to be able to reduce fees during financial hardship, then examine how that fits in your financial plan for your practice and plan for it. Have the buffer for it. If you want to offer reduced fees, maybe you don't take insurance, right? So it's one of those things where you have to examine, like, why do I want to do this? And then what is one of the ways, or what is one way that I can do that? And maybe stick with that for a while and see how that feels. But I don't think that it's, like, again, it's not a requirement, right? Just because somebody else offers reduced fees doesn't mean you have to. Just because somebody else does a sliding scale doesn't mean you have to. And I want to get away from this idea that we as a profession are required to do that, and that we can look at the other ways that we can be accessible to people beyond just that one thing, or that we have to do it even if we're being accessible in other ways. So those are my thoughts on that question, and have a great Tuesday. Bye.